Remember, when you come to Canada, it's very important to bring with you all the papers you can think of. Birth certificates for all members of your family, marriage, separation or divorce papers, educational certificates, technical or professional certificates. Just bring all the papers you had to show a visa officer abroad, and if possible, have them translated into either English or French, and have 2 copies of each. Also, make 2 copies of the list of the things you will bring with you, and 2 copies of your things that will be shipped later. You may choose to present the permanent resident card to other agencies who request proof of status or identity to obtain other documents. After signing your permanent resident documents and having your luggage cleared by customs, you will go to your connecting flight or your bus, which will take you to your temporary home. If someone is meeting you, or you've come to join friends and family, this is a happy moment. Let people know exactly when you'll arrive. They will help you settle in and tell you from their own experience how to adapt to life here.
Starting life in a new society means finding housing and a job, and learning a new language, either English or French. The place to start is at one of the 300 to 400 organizations that help immigrants like you settle into life in Canada. Like this one here in Ottawa, which has helped thousands of immigrants from all over the world for more than 50 years. They can help you in several ways, for example, with language training, or finding housing, or looking for a job. Some of them work in English, some in French, and some in both.
You may have heard many things about Canada, good and bad. Now that you're here, you can find out for yourself. In Canada and elsewhere, life changes quickly. It may be much harder for you than for your relatives who came 5 years ago. The adjustment to life in Canada can be difficult for the whole family. The first few days can be hard. In a big city, housing usually costs more than in a small town, and it's harder to find. There are advantages to moving away from the big city, but wherever you go, making a new home for yourself costs money. If your relatives can help you in the beginning, that's good. However, most people come to Canada because they want to make a life for themselves, which usually means finding your own work and housing. The cost of living varies throughout Canada. In smaller towns, housing may be cheaper, but food and household goods may cost more. It's hard to say just how much money you need to live in Canada, because the cost of living varies from place to place.
You do need to speak English or French in order to be part of Canadian life, and to be involved in everyday activities. Taking language classes helps all newcomers to meet more people and join in their activities. There are different language classes available, some part-time, some full-time, and at various schools and colleges. But whether you go out to school or work, you cannot leave young children alone. In Canada, the law demands that a competent person is there to look after children, usually under age 12. The age varies from province to province. If there is no friend or family member available to look after them, you have to pay a babysitter to do it. Babysitter may be a new word for you. A babysitter is an adult or teenager who takes care of children while the parents are out of their home. A babysitter allows parents more freedom to go out to do things and to go to school. Children can also attend daycare centers. Here, a group of children is looked after by several adults. Many daycare centers, though, have waiting lists to get in.
Your first days in Canada are going to be filled with wonder, with different new sights, and with some familiar ones too. In our next segment, we'll look at how the Canadian system applies to you and your community, large or small, as you set up a household and establish your family here.
How you live in Canada depends to some extent on where you live in Canada. Life in a small town is quite different from life in the big city. The regions of Canada are thousands of kilometers apart, and housing, shopping, transportation, even how you handle your money may differ from one region to another.
Different people want different kinds of lives. Not everyone wants the extra activity and noise of a big city. Big cities can be stressful if you come from a quiet village. But in big cities, you will meet more people from your homeland and find familiar foods and customs. While these reminders of home are pleasant, it is necessary to adapt to your new country if you're going to live here. And because so many newcomers choose to live in large centers, you may have to wait for some of the services the government provides to help newcomers adjust. Also remember, it usually costs more to live in a big city.
In the smaller towns and cities, housing tends to be cheaper. Everything is more relaxed, both for the newcomer and for those who have lived there for generations. It is more peaceful. But it may also be harder to find a job. There will be fewer people to talk to in your original language. This may help you to learn a new language faster, and because the people are in less of a hurry, they'll have more time to get to know you and help you. Breaking down barriers is difficult, but everyone should try. One way is for the newcomers to become more involved in community events. In Canada, it is up to you to find a job, find a home, and find a place in the community.
Or if you just want to stick within your own culture, within your own language, no, this is not going to work. Like, we need to have a broad mind. We need to be open to new ideas, new things, new culture, new society.
In the cities, many people live in tall apartment buildings called high-rises. Apartments are self-contained and have living and dining rooms, kitchens, bedrooms, and bathrooms. Renting a house or part of one can be expensive. If you decide to buy a house or apartment, remember to budget for local taxes on the property. If you are renting, find out what the rent includes. Will it cover the heating, water, and electricity bills? Also, find out how close you are to schools, a bus stop, and stores.
You can shop in small stores, in open-air markets, or in supermarkets. Open-air markets are more popular in warmer weather and can be a good place to buy inexpensive local produce. However, there is no bartering in Canada. The advertised price is what you pay. Many Canadians choose a supermarket because it's convenient. You can find most household needs under one roof. In supermarkets, you can choose items off the shelf, and you may be tempted to take more than you need or can afford. Make a list of what you need before you buy. You pay for your goods at the checkout counter. For convenience and to shelter you from the weather, shopping is often done in large malls, which have a number of shops under one roof. Be sure to pay for your goods as you leave each store. Wherever you shop, taxes will be added to the price of most items at the cash desk. Most provinces have their own provincial sales taxes. These vary from province to province. There is also a federal sales tax called the GST.
Canadians keep very little cash in their pockets. They keep their money in a bank, credit union, or trust company. It's safe there, and your money may earn interest. You can also pay for things by writing a check on your account or using a credit card or a debit card. A credit card means you can charge purchases to a special account and pay once a month. But they may not be easy to get, and when you get one, be careful. If you do not pay your credit card bill promptly, you will be charged a higher rate of interest.
One of the most costly items you may buy is a car. Although there is adequate public transportation in most towns and cities, in the form of subways, buses, and taxis, Canadians, both men and women, enjoy their cars. and often need them because of the distance they have to travel. But owning and running a car is expensive. If you have a driver's license from your previous country, it may allow you to drive here for a limited time. This length of time varies from province to province. After that, you must take a driving test and obtain a Canadian license. If you own a car, the law demands that you insure it against accidents. You cannot take it on the road without insurance. And finally, when buying a used car, be careful. Make sure the car is in good condition. Check the car over very carefully.
In Canada, health care is available to everyone. Doctors' bills, hospitals, and many other forms of health care are paid for by taxes. Health plans vary from province to province, but provide adequate service for most needs. Apply for health insurance as soon as you arrive in Canada. You will receive your card from the province where you live. Some provinces have a 3-month waiting period before you qualify for health insurance. During that time, you will need to apply for temporary private health insurance. And if you move to another province, you may have to reapply for health insurance. You can choose your own family doctor. There are both male and female doctors in Canada. If you're seriously ill, have a fire or other emergency, don't hesitate to dial the emergency telephone number.
Well, the police are here to help you, and they want to make newcomers comfortable in Canada. So do not be afraid to call the police. And we have Canada. So do not be afraid to call the police. And we have a special phone number that you can call 911, and you can speak in any language of the world.
That's 911. Call this number almost anywhere, and help will be on its way. But you must be ready to say where you are and what the problem is. These are some of the things you need to know as you settle into your new community. Next, we'll look at learning in Canada.
In Canada, education is a lifelong process. Canada spends a great percentage of its national budget on education. It looks upon this as an investment in the future. By law, all children must attend school. Many also attend preschool classes or kindergarten. At age 6, they go to an elementary school. When they become teenagers, they go to high school. In most provinces, they must stay in school until they are 16. In other provinces, they have to stay until they are 18. Education in public schools is called free, but is actually paid for by taxes. When registering your child in school, take the child's birth certificate or passport with you, plus educational records and papers proving that he or she is a permanent resident. You should also bring your child's immunization documents, because the child must be immunized against certain diseases before entering school. Parents are encouraged to get involved in their children's education. Your child may require extra instruction in English or French, and there are special classes for this in some schools.
Education in Canada does not stop when you leave school. Most adults, even older people, will change jobs and begin new careers. You can go back to classes to learn things for the rest of your life. But as adults, you'll pay fees for these classes. The reason is that much of what is taught today was unknown 40 or even 20 years ago. There are opportunities for everyone, regardless of age, to continue their education.
They wanted to get good education, for which Canada is renowned all across the world.
Newcomers like Mohammed